Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Call of the Wild, the Angler. And you guys probably think that I'm going to show you guys how you need to get a legendary speelfinne, but that's not true. I caught him by accident because I was working on my second video. So once again, true or false. And I got them by accident. So what I'm going to do in this video is one of the things that a lot of people once again thinks is in the game, but is not in the game. You can test it really easy by yourself. I had yesterday on my first video, true or false on the temperature, I had a guy that said what I'm going to show you guys that is not in the game. So he said under comments, you guys can read it, that my diamond that was out of the temperature came from the depth and therefore the temperature was wrong. But that's not in the game. And there is another problem that the deeper you go, the colder it becomes, and the temperature of the diamond was higher than my surface temperature. So there are two things that were not correlating with what he's saying. So it's something that a lot of people think is in the game, but is not in the game. So what I'm going to show you guys is, and that's very simple to do by the way, I'm going to show you guys two positions where I'm going to get a fish at the surface. At the same position, I let it go to 50 meters, and you will see that the range of the Celsius is just the same. Because you need to understand it's almost never possible that it's at the bottom the same temperature as at the top. So I will show you guys that. I did my research because I can understand that people think once again it's in the game. Because in real life it's like that, but in this game it's not here. So let's have a look what I mean. So I'm going to open my text file because I did already some testing, but I will show you guys this live. Yeah, I will edit it, I will show it, because it's very easy to do. Everybody can do it. So you can see, this is the info. So you can read it here. In general, the temperature of lakes and rivers tend to be cooler at deeper levels, especially in temperature climates. This is because sunlight can only penetrate to a certain depth, so the water below that depth does not receive as much heat from the sun. So that's simple, and the bigger the lake, the deeper the lake, the colder it becomes. That's very simple, because you got more water, so it takes longer to heat the water. So if I fish here in Norway, and I'm fishing at the surface, let's say on 5 Celsius, and I go to the bottom, it cannot be the same. It's 55 meters deep. The difference is not so big that it need to be in Spain. In Spain, I was on the Carozo Barbel. I went 44 meters deep, and it was just the same. Why I'm saying that? Because Norway is already cold. Spain is a lot warmer, so you need to see a very big difference with the surface and the bottom, but that's not the case. So it's not in the game. So you guys can see it here. I will show you guys it a little bit later in the video. So you see, in Spain, I went to the Carozo Barbel spot, and I fished at 46 meter. And I got the bronze mirror carp, 14.4 Celsius. I got the bronze comiso barbel, 14.9, 14.7. So you guys can see this is caught with the bottom rod on the bottom. 46 meters deep. Then I just did the same, and you guys can see just the same range. It's just the same range than here. So here, this and this difference probably need to be, let's say, 10 Celsius less. But there is no difference. It's just the same. Then I did another testing. So I did it once again. 46 meters in the morning. So you guys can see the temperatures goes down. Because yesterday I said that to you guys. If you go to a server, in the morning and the evening is the same. And the noon and the... no, that's not true what I say. The night and the morning is the same, and the noon and the evening is the same too. So you guys can see here I started at the morning, it's colder, but you can see right away. So at depth 11.7, 12.1, and then at the surface at the same position, you can see it just the same temperature. So there is no temperature lower at the bottom. So it's not in the game. The temperature, if you stand somewhere that you fish at the surface, at the bottom, in the half, it does not matter. The temperature is just the same. So that's false. It's not happening, and I will show you guys now a little bit the testing, so you can see it just live. You can do it yourself too. If you find the position that you say to me, yeah, but Shamino, I went to that position, and I got at the surface 15 and 10. That's possible. That it's in the game, but I don't think so. another thing what is working. So if you throw ground bait, never do that if you do the testing, because ground bait can attract from other spawn points, and the other spawn points can have a higher or lower temperature. Because I'm thinking about something. That's something for a next video. Is it possible to manipulate that system? I saw it yesterday with the Carousel barbel. If you go on a line between two spawn points and you put a ground bait in the middle, you attract a lot more fish from right spawn point and left spawn point. And I had the diamond in a couple of seconds. So I'm going to test that a little bit more, but it has nothing to do with this video. But that's something that I want to say. Don't throw ground bait, because otherwise you attract fish from other temperatures. That's true, by the way. So you can get fish from other spawn points, other temperatures in that area, and if they come to your spot, it will fluctuate. But that's something for another video, because I need to test that a little bit more. So let's get started with the testing. Okay guys, so you can see Spielfinne had a Celsius of 4.9, so I'm nicely in the middle of this area. So I'm over here, so everybody knows that spot. So I'm nicely in the area, because I already told you guys it. If I fish here, there is always a possibility that I attract fish from here to here. So here, this is other temperature than here. This is warmer than here, that's true. If it is true, I don't deny it. So the problem is, if you do testing like this, you need to be 100% in one area, that there is no fish coming from here or here, because they are going to influence the temperature. So 4.9 it was on the surface, and you can do it very simple. It's going to take some time, but I will edit it, that's not a problem. So I'm going to test first on the bottom. So you guys, I just use this, a 5-hook, a red worm. I can get bronze Atlantic salmon, so I just do this. So I just throw it out, and you can already see it's 54 meters deep here. So normally, because it's so deep, the water need to be very, very cold, a lot colder than on the surface. But like I already said, the Celsius is not changing in the day, or you need to restart the game and start somewhere else. So it's not a system, it's a static system, and you will see it here too. So now I'm just going to wait until I got a bite, and then I'm coming back to you guys that you can see it. Okay guys, I got the first bite, and you guys can see, so let's have a look what the fish is. Normally I hope it's a salmon, but it does not really matter. So normally every kind of fish need to give the same temperature, you know. So remember, it was 4.9 on Spielfinne, that was a surface, because I got them with the spoon on the surface. It takes some time, it's 55 meters, you know. So here you can see. So that's the problem, you know. So it was 4.9 on the surface, and 55 meters deep, it's 5.0. It's even warmer on the bottom in this game. That's because there is no difference. So the temp at the surface and the bottom is just the same, like I told you guys. I'm going to try to get one more at the surface, just to get an extra one, because I know there will be people, yeah, but Jamino, it was a legendary, you know, and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do now is very simple. So I got this setup with me too. So I'm just going to use this setup, a spoon too. That's bronze too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to try to get, with that spoon, an Atlantic salmon on the surface. Okay, here we go. So you guys can see it's just at the same time. So I didn't change anything, I just did the cast. So let's have a look that we can get a bite. That we can. I'm not sure what the range is of the temperature in this area. I think it's 3.8 to 5. So I said it yesterday in the video. So it's not changing. It just keeps jumping between those numbers, because yeah, there is no system that is warming up, cooling down in this game. So I can now get a 4.1 or something too, or a 4.6, but it just will jump, but I will not get a 15. Yeah, here is a bite, that's good. So let's have a look what we got here. I hope it's not too big. It feels a little bit like a silver, but that's not a problem. So I'm going to get him in. It's a salmon. So here you can see. So it was 5.0 on the bottom. Let's have a look. It was 4.9 on the Spielfinne. So let's have a look what we got now. So you can see it's 5. Just the same like before. So there is no difference between the bottom and the surface on the Atlantic salmon. I'm now going to Spain. I'm going to show you guys it on the Caruso too. And on the bottom and the surface once again. And then I'm going to end it. Okay guys, I'm now in Spain, so this is a well-known position, you can see it here. So once again, I'm going to do the testing without ground bait, of course, because you can see here, you can pull, there are a lot of layers. So I'm going to try one day over here, put ground bait out, and I'm going to try to get all the spawns from here, here and here and here. So that's something for my next video, to have a look, that I can get a lot of more fish and diamonds if I do that. But now I'm going to stay with this video. So I'm once again in a pure area where I cannot get influenced by other areas. So what I'm going to do is very simple. So the target fish is the carp and the Caruso barbel. So I'm going to fish at the bottom once again with this setup. So a 5-hook and cheese. And on the surface I'm going to fish with this one. Because at the surface you get a lot of more fish. The bottom is a little bit tricky sometimes, but it will work too after some time. With cheese it works really well. So you can see it's now noon. I just went to this server, so I didn't do anything. And I'm going to throw my bottom rod in the water. And if I got a bite, I will coming back to you guys. That's what I'm doing here is what you saw at the text file. So 43 meters. And what I want to say here is that the temperature is, I think, 14 to 19 Celsius. So if you go 44 meters deep, it needs to be around 4 to 5 Celsius. Because here it's a lot warmer, but at the bottom it never gets warmed up. The mass of the water is way too much, and in Spain we got a climate. So it's not that we don't have a climate, so it need to be very cool, but you will see that will be not the case. So I'm coming back to you guys if I got a bite, and then I'm going to show you guys the temperature of the bottom. Okay guys, here is the bite, so let's have a look what we are going to get. It can be a mirror carp, or it can be the barbel. It takes once again some time because it's very deep over here. So let's have a look. It's a carp, so 15.8 Celsius. This is the bottom, by the way. So remember that, I'm going to get this one. And now I'm going to just go really quick, because normally the barbel, I'm not going to use ground bait, so I hope that it spawns in the right way. It's possible that I need to lower my hook, but they bite a little bit better. So you guys can see it only took, what is it, 10-15 minutes in game. But let's have a look that the barbel is spawning right way for me. Otherwise I'm going to edit it in once again. So what was it again? 15.7 or something? That is the first one. So here you can test it really quick. Okay, so 15.7 it was. Something in the 15, so let's have a look. This is 14.9. So that was it, guys. So it's colder in my testing than on the bottom, but it's in the range, by the way. The range is 14 to 17 or 18 on this position. So they just fluctuate between the temperature. So once again, it's something that a lot of people say too. Go to the bottom, it's getting colder if you fish there, and to the surface. But that's not really true. So it's a false statement. Once again, I showed you guys it. If you don't believe me, just do the same. Try to do it. But there is no difference between the bottom temperature and the surface temperature in this game. I'm not saying, I already said to you guys that, I'm not saying there is no difference in parts of a lake. That's not what I'm saying. So if you come here, it's higher temperature than here because it's less deep. That's in the game. But there is no difference between surface fishing and bottom fishing. So all the people that are saying that my diamond yesterday comes from the bottom and therefore it was not in the temperature chart, it's just a very false statement. It's not true, it cannot happen. So that's something that is not possible because I just showed you guys it. Thanks for watching, have fun, bye bye.